one's kind of a big round ball that you'll see. Is that right? Am I using two different ones here?
Mm-hmm.
So this is a little bit smaller than what you're seeing currently, and it's not filled up. So when you're seeing it, it's about twice the size and it's round. This one happens to be a 400 milliliter. You guys are using a 650, so it's a big round ball, you'll see. So here's how it comes and how you'll see it most likely, most of the time. It's a modular system, and I'm going to concentrate on this little piece here for the most part. When you get it, you're going to see it filled from pharmacy. Most likely it's going to come around. It's going to come filled. There's a fill port here to be aware of, and a clamp as well, just to kind of clamp it off. So again, it's modular, so you can take this piece apart from two different ends. And this is going to end up being your patient end, but it says right on here, catheter port. So everything's pretty clearly labeled as well, so that'll go towards the patient. And then this piece here, it's called our regulator, and this is what controls the flow. So in a lot of cases, you'll either see this hung up from an IV pole, or you may see it sitting down too. But at the end of the day, all the medication goes through this port here, and you control your settings, your flow settings on this little dial here. So right now it's essentially in a locked position, more or less, and you can see all the different 1 through 6 mLs is what this one is here. And if I were to take this off, this little blue piece, and lift up this control valve, it essentially lets you change the flow from anywhere between 1 to 6 mLs on this one. And again, this little blue piece here would let you lock it into place. And essentially you could, at that point, take it out and redo it again. So that's one feature as far as the locking portion goes. And that's a temporary lock, right? So you can take it off and put it back on. If you were to push this down, it's a permanent lock. So I'm not exactly sure your protocol here, but they may be locking it down right from the beginning, they may not be. But I want you to be aware, if I were to push this down, it is set in place for the life of this pump. So that's really the major thing that you need to keep an eye out for. If you see this blue piece in, you or the patient or anybody has the flexibility to control that rate for better or for worse. If you didn't want that to happen, if you pushed it down, if you knew that that was going to be the flow rate that it was going to be set at, you could do that with that little red button. But that's what controls the accuracy. This is actually a chemotherapy regulator, so it's really precise, but it's used just for block injections at this point. So that's pretty much the biggest difference between any other pump on the market and what helps with the accuracy as well. So beyond that point, again, there's a couple different ways to modify this. At the patient end, you might see two different, like a Y connector. You can split off into two different ports for injection sites at that point. It really depends on how you want to modify it. It's kind of like Legos, to be honest. You can kind of do building blocks with it, a flow splitter. You could actually have it at 4 different sites if you wanted to. So, any questions just on the way the functionality of it is right now?
They bolus through it?
You can do a bolus. We've got a couple different boluses, and I think right now you just have it without a bolus. But there's 2 different boluses. One looks like a little round button, and you can just do the push button. This one actually works like a single shot, and it hooks up the same way. So again, it's kind of like the building block piece of it. But this one's hooked up directly to that regulator right now, and it would work like a shot, and it would take its time to refill, 30 minutes to refill. But it's literally it's one single shot injection all at once rather than kind of the trickle that you'll see for most of them. So we have both, otherwise that bolus gives you that smaller dose quickly. But this works essentially like a single shot injection, but that is a bolus type as well. So, but the majority of yours I believe are looking just like this, correct right now. So it's just delivering that fixed flow rate, whatever you have it set at the current time. So, but it does give you that flexibility to do either or.
Is it self-priming?
It comes primed already with the way that it's set up in the pharmacy, yeah. So, any questions? It is pretty straightforward. So literally it's just, when it comes, it'll come just like this.
Doesn't it come?
I was gonna say, yeah, ours actually are not primed. We only
Oh, they're
get
not
the
primed?
No, we only get the pigtail piece. That's why I was asking.
Oh,
because
you were,
the
okay.
lure lock can go either way.
Okay, so it doesn't
because
come
we
this
are the
way. I thought it was in
ones priming
pharmacy it happened that way.
No, that was us.
Oh, okay, I thought it was a pharmacy question for you.
No, that was us.
Okay.
So we do the priming.
Okay.
So it comes with the little pigtail, and then we are hooking it up to the
And that's where
regulator.
Okay, which we're going to get switched for you.
Right,
So
so
there
you-
will just be the one connection like this.
Yes.
So you're getting it in 2 separate pieces right
Yeah.
now.
And I remember for the last one, we didn't have that little, there was no sticker on it, so it was like
Yes, I was gonna say, I don't remember the
It
sticker on
didn't
it
say
either.
which end was where, and they both.
And it
looked
should have
good.
Right,
a sticker and a little arrow direction
yeah.
too.
You caught the arrow, Lisa, and I think that's what keyed us that it was, we had it back.
Yeah, and the catheter port helps as well. That makes it a little more clear too. So you have some of the older ones, it sounds like. They're probably coming from North Memorial. They're sitting there for a long time, is my guess. They're in the warehouse there. And the newer ones have both the port and the one way to connect it. So
Yeah.
I can probably swap those out for you so you don't have that problem.
Okay, we can get those for you after.
Okay.
They're right up above Monahan's desk
Oh,
is where they are kept.
Yeah, I'd like to see you.
I thought they came
Just
from
take a peek at them
pharmacy,
too.
Well, I think what happens is Phyllis, because I asked Phyllis what the whole route of this is
Right.
she'll order some in, store them here, like 3 of them, and then she'll send them off to pharmacy when we have an order for one. So that's where they are.
Yeah, because they're using a couple different size ones at the hospital. So I'm just wondering which ones you're getting in. And,
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay, I'd be curious. So. Okay, but then we should be able to correct that problem too.
Yeah,
So
perfect.
literally it'll just be the 2 pieces, one way to connect it. And then again, the biggest thing to keep in mind is just the locking piece.
Right, and so we do prime them, so we
Okay.
set it at 15.
Okay.
We set it, our pumps go up to 15.
Yep.
Our typical rate is anywhere from 8 to 10, depending on what the anesthesiologist
Okay.
orders. And
And
then
then are you
once we
locking
have
them?
it primed, yep, I still double check and wait until the patient is out and there, and we hook it up and double check the
Okay.
the rate that we want, and then we push the red
The red,
down,
okay,
so
so you are
it's
locking them out too?
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, that's the cleanest way to do it.
How long do they last? So
Depending on the
3
rate,
days.
8 to 10, 2 to 3 days.
It really is.
Sorry.
No.
Different company.
Totally agree with you. That's
But right?
absolutely the same.
Okay.
It's almost identical to the Anki one in a whole lot of respects. It's 100% latex free is the one big difference. So.
It looks a lot lighter.
Yeah.
Weight-wise.
Yeah, and the regulators, the other differentiator.
Full.
They all get pretty full once the volume's in.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi there.
Yeah, I think our volume is typically 400.
Okay.
Yeah, we're making.
Do you ever go, so you have a 650 reservoir, I think, and you're only filling to, okay, we'll double check.
I
that
know
too.
it's 400, I know that.
Because if you're only using a 400, we do have just a 400 like this, so you can overfill the 500, which might do a whole lot more good for you here and save some too. So, we'll go with
I'll look and
that.
see,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure amounts are 400.
Okay. Any other questions?
We're starting them in packing.
Mhm.
Okay.
We prime them once we get them so that it's ready to go, and then we start them in PACU. And it's placed by anesthesia in the OR.
Correct.
And I
And
guess they
they
bolus them or
do
whatever.
orders.
Yep.
They do. Yep, and they should do the orders. It's placed by the OR as an LVA.
Yep, we are
Right?
doing that now.
Okay, yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just these 2 pieces there.
And if anesthesia does not put the order in, we are putting the order in for the rate and everything. The anesthesia, then they have to go sign.
And patients pull their own in a few days?
They do.
Yeah, we have a, I don't know if you guys have a pouch too, but it comes with kind of a pouch you can zip it
Little
up
fanny
and
pack.
lock it out. It does have a helpline on there too, just put it right in the pouch, so if you have, or if the patient did, it's on there too. That's it. Pretty straightforward. Literally just 2 pieces, so,
Thank you.
thank you.